Hi and welcome back to my channel, Finding My Voice Again. I'm Rebecca and this is my buddy Boots. You can get to know us a bit more in more detail in my previous episode, which was an introduction to me and my dysphonia. This is episode 2 of my series, which goes through my experience and journey of having dysphonia. And this episode is going to let you know how it all began, the symptoms that I experienced, and my diagnosis journey. So to begin, how it began, and it was really just a normal day for me. I woke up, had no pre-warning or indications that I was about to go through a life-changing experience. I had a friend over and we'd spent a couple of hours chatting away, talking, as you do. And I had noticed by the end of the couple of hours, I began to flag quite a little bit. I'd started to feel quite exhausted. And I'd also found that I was beginning to get a slight burning discomfort in my throat and my chest. So I thought, okay, maybe I'm coming down with something. I'll just rest and do all the usual treatments you would do if you're experiencing sort of cold or virus. So lots of honey, lemon, ginger, those sort of things. And of course, plenty of sleep as well. And I just found that I was still feeling pretty awful sort of 4 days on. And then I had quite an intense 24 hours of a really nasty sort of virus. And I thought, okay, that explains the way I've been feeling. I'm sure now I'll sort of bounce back, except things didn't bounce back at all. The burning that I was experiencing in my throat and chest became constant. It was always there, and it was so intense. I really cannot explain the intensity. It was like someone had set my chest and throat quite literally on fire, and absolutely nothing would ease that burning intensity. So after about 10 days of this just constant discomfort and sore throat and with absolutely no relief, I went and saw the doctors, and they initially thought it could have been laryngitis. So they recommended doing just complete vocal rest for a couple of days and see how my voice and throat and chest reacted. Also to be precautionary in case it was a chest infection. They also gave me a course of antibiotics, but unfortunately this also offered no relief at all. So weeks and weeks and on, I was still continuously feeling this intense burning, but also I'd started to feel a really great gripping tightness on where my windpipe is and in my chest as well. And it kind of felt like, you imagine twisting a piece of rope like this really tightly. That's the only way I can really explain, like somebody was doing that to me around the whole of this area. So I went back to the doctors again, and this time they thought perhaps it's really bad acid reflux. So they prescribed me some anti-reflux tablets to see how I got on with them. I also went on a anti-reflux diet, which consisted of ensuring I had nothing acidic. So things like tomatoes, spicy food, coffee, chocolate, all the good stuff really, to be honest, takeaways. But anyway, I eradicated them and had very neutral sort of plain diet to be on the safe side. I also raised my pillows by quite a bit, which is a recommendation if you have acid reflux, and I ensured that I was eating sort of way in advance of going to bed, so a good 4 or 5 hours. And I did this for a number of weeks. I think it was around 6 weeks, and I was still getting no relief at all. I was beginning to feel really fatigued with this constant, like I say, the only way I can describe it is intense burning. it was just all encompassing and making talking so painful and so sore, like really raw, like someone had scratched my throat out. So I went back to the doctors again and they referred me to the ears, nose and throat specialists. And this is where I got my diagnosis. So they did a fibre optic laryngoscopy. I hope I've said that right, which is where they put a little tube up your nose and then down your throat so that they can see your vocal cords. And this sounds horrific, by the way, but I can reassure you it was absolutely fine, nothing to worry about. They put a little spray up there first as well for you. I think that's meant to make things more comfortable, so it must have worked if that's the case. And that way the ENT consultant can really see what's going on with your vocal cords, because they'll ask you to make certain sounds to see how your vocal cords react. And he said he could see some physical tension there, and that what I needed next was speech therapy, which is the referral that he passed on to the speech therapy department to get me the help that I needed to start my recovery. And that is what I'm going to be talking about next. I'm going to be talking about the treatments that I've gone through, and I will start with a video on speech therapy because it was absolutely monumental in supporting my recovery, and there's a lot to cover in that as well. So just to summarise there, how it began, it happened very suddenly, very rapidly. Everything changed in the space of around 24 hours. And it's probably thought that it was triggered by the fact I have neuropathic related health conditions, which I do speak about in my previous video, which is episode 1, an introduction to me and my dysphonia. And then the symptoms that I experienced was constant burning, tightness in the chest and throat, fatigue and sore throat. And my diagnosis was really a series of going to the doctors to eliminate any other potential things it could have been, including acid reflux, laryngitis and a general sort of chest infection or any forms of viruses there. Also, I just want to let you know as well that with the symptoms, while the constant burning and the tightness in my chest, I'm really relieved to say has, it's been eradicated over the course of my 11-month journey with this. What I have found is though, I do have quite a lot of muscle tension and tightness and strain around the right hand side of my neck and the right hand side of my shoulder, and the right hand shoulder shoulder blade as well. So I will be speaking when I talk about treatment around physiotherapy, and that's going to cover that side of the symptoms as well. So for now, until our next episode, me and Beats are going to go enjoy the rest of the day, and we hope you do too. Thank you very much for watching.